This is none of your concern, citizen. Move along. Those rebels think they can best us. They have another thing coming. This is none of your concern. Be on your way. Move along.
You handle yourself well. You could make for a decent shield, brother. An outsider, eh? Never heard of the Companions? An order of warriors. We are brothers and sisters in honor. And we show up to solve problems if the coin is good enough. Not for me to say. You'll have to talk to Kodlak Whitemane up in Gervaskar. The old man's got a good sense for people. He can look in your eyes and tell your worth. If you go to him, good luck. Blood on the wind today. Good hunt ahead of us. An outsider, eh? Never heard of the Companions? An order of warriors. We are brothers and sisters in honor. And we show up to solve problems if the coin is good enough. My mother was a companion, and her mother, and all the women in my family back to Horati Blackblade. I stayed with my father in the woods until I was old enough for my trial. We hunted everything there was to hunt. Good training. Ma didn't live long enough to see me join, but I fight to honor her and all my shield sisters through time. We don't just take in any milk drinker who stumbles in. Talk to Codlac if you think you have what it takes to be a companion. Ysgramor himself wouldn't have the patience to deal with all the rabble around here. If you wish to hunt with me, your feet need to be quick and your eyes quicker. Mm-hmm. I'd like to see him laugh his way out of that.
Well, sounds like you've had quite the journey, Uthgar. But you were gone longer than usual. I got to thinking maybe you weren't coming back.
You sound like my ma. Figured I was lying dead in a field somewhere. Is that it?
Thought did cross my mind, yeah. War brewing, talk of a riot in Helgen. That now jesters? Skyrim's gone mad, girl. You need to be careful out there.
Careful, huh? Thanks, Skullvar. I'll remember that. Yeah, right.
Yeah?
Halt. City's closed with the dragons about. Official business only. Fine. But we'll be keeping an eye on you.
thinking of settling in? There's a house for sale, Breeze Hall. You should talk to the steward up in the keep if you're interested.
We'll pay whatever it takes, but we must have more swords for the Imperial soldiers.
I just can't fill an order that size on my own. Why don't you swallow that stubborn pride of yours and ask Yorland Greymane for help?
I'd sooner bend my knee to Ulfric's Stormcloak. Besides, Greymane would never make steel for the Legion.
Have it your way. I'll take the job, but don't expect a miracle. Can I help you? Plenty. I'd say we're prosperous enough. Most folk don't go hungry, if they're willing to work hard. The city's ruled by the Jarl up in Dragon's Reach. That's the fortress there, up on the tall hill. But you're probably more interested in Jorvaskr, Mead Hall of the Companions. Their deeds of war and valor are legendary. I don't claim to be the best blacksmith in Whiterun. Yorland Greymane's got that honor. Man's steel is legendary. All I ask is a fair chance. Got some good pieces out here if you're looking to buy. More inside. Of course I support the Empire. Ulfric would expunge from Skyrim citizens whose only crime was to be born of a non-Nordic woman. But I fear that the land will be stained with blood for years to come. This god-forsaken war is dividing our people and destroying our land. I think the Jarl is underestimating the Stormcloaks. Ulfric's going to try to take Whiterun, but Balgruf refuses the Legion's right to garrison troops in his city. He's a fool. We need the Empire now more than ever. Well, my husband Ulfberth will be inside. If I wasn't married to him, I'd be out of business. And then there's my father. He's the steward up at Dragon's Reach. I help my father in more ways than people realize. You think all the counsel my father provides the Jarl is his alone? Huh. Let's just say I advise the advisor, and leave it at that. Don't forget to check inside the shop if you need anything. Have you met my father? Looking to protect yourself, or deal some damage?
Need something?
I know your family's honor is important to you, but we can't afford it.
It took me weeks to find that thief's den. I can't stop now, and I can't get the sword on my own.
So you're willing to starve your wife and daughter to reclaim some rusty old sword?
I just need to hire one, maybe two good men. You won't starve.
I'll put it plainly. You can claim your sword, or you can keep your wife. If you set foot outside that gate, I won't be here when you return.
Saphir! Wait, Hello, friend. My Saphir doesn't like that I've been spending so much time looking for my father's old sword.
He fed his entire family with the gold he made using that weapon. I'm not about to let it gather dust in some thief's trophy room. I tracked it to a group of bandits nearby, but I'm no fool. I'd need the Whiterun guards or maybe hire the companions to get it. I don't know why I'm saying this, but if you find it out in your travels, I'd be grateful to you. My wife's a good woman. She can be a little hard-headed sometimes, but I love her just the same. I'm a mercenary. You tried mercenary work? It might suit you. Got a loving wife, my daughter, and a patch of land to call my own. What more can a man ask for? Sometimes I miss the soldier's life, but when I hold my daughter in my arms, I know I made the right choice. With the soldiers all fighting in the war, there's nobody to hunt down the bandits. I miss those days when you could walk the roads in peace. No, friend, that I'm not. But I get along with your kind well enough. No, I'm a Red Guard. My family hails from the Imperial Province. But I left home when I was just a lad. Been wandering ever since. If you find that sword, please bring it to me.
What do you need, handsome? Is there something I can do for you? Have you seen that shrine of Azura? They say the Dark Elves built it after they fled from Morrowind. Sight to see. Of course. It's all in this note. All right, then.
What is that stench? There's no telling what it means. What would you have me do then? Nothing?
What's the meaning
My
of this
lord,
interruption?
please.
Jarl
This is no
Balgrup
time
is
for
not
rash
receiving
action.
visitors.
I just think we need more information before we act.
Well,
Who's
that
this,
explains
then?
why the guards let you in. Come on then. The Jarl will want to speak to you personally.
So, you were at Helgen. You saw this dragon with your own eyes? By Ismir, Irileth was right. What do you say now, Proventus? Shall we continue to trust in the strength of our walls?
It's really great we're friends. I was hoping to find some way to thank you. I hope this does the trick.
That dragon is lurking in the mountains.
The Jarl of Falkreath will view that as a provocation. He'll assume we're preparing to join Ulfric's side and attack him. We should not...
I'll not stand idly by while the dragon burns my hold and slaughters my people. Irileth, send a detachment to Riverwood at once.
Yes, my Jarl.
If you'll excuse me, I'll return to my duties.
That would be best. Well done. You sought me out on your own initiative. You've done Whiterun a service, and I won't forget it. Here, take this as a small token of my esteem. There is another thing you could do for me. Suitable for someone of your particular talents. Come, let's go find Farengar, my court wizard. He's been looking into a matter related to these dragons and rumors of dragons. Farengar, I think I found someone who can help you with your dragon project. Go ahead and fill him in with all the details.
So the Jarl thinks you can be of use to me. Oh yes, he must be referring to my research into the dragons. Yes, I could use someone to fetch something for me. Well, when I say fetch, I really mean delve into a dangerous ruin in search of an ancient stone tablet that may or may not actually be there. Ah, no mere brute mercenary, but a thinker. Perhaps even a scholar? You see, when the stories of dragons began to circulate, many dismissed them as mere fantasies, rumors, impossibilities. One sure mark of a fool is to dismiss anything that falls outside his experience as being impossible. But I began to search for information about dragons. Where had they gone all those years ago? And where were they coming from? I learned of a certain stone tablet said to be housed in Bleak Falls Barrow. A dragon stone, said to contain a map of dragon burial sites. Go to Bleak Falls Barrow, find this tablet, no doubt interred in the main chamber, and bring it to me. Simplicity itself. An old tomb, built by the ancient Nords, perhaps dating back to the Dragon War itself. Ah, maybe you just want to know how to get there. It's near Riverwood, a miserable little village a few miles south of here. I'm sure some of the locals can point you in the right direction once you get there. Well, must preserve some professional secrets, mustn't we? I have my sources. Reliable sources. I'm not surprised you've never heard of it. Even I used to think it was just a myth. But not anymore. The Dragon War was a real event, although only the barest glimmer of the actual events has come down to us. Far back in the Mythic era, the dragons were worshipped as gods in Skyrim. Many of the monumental ruins that still dot the landscape were in fact built as temples to the dragons. The details are lost, but at some point, the Nords rebelled. After a long and terrible war, the Nords overthrew their dragon overlords. Oh no, many were killed, of course, but many survived into historical times. Why, this very palace was built by one of Balgruf's ancestors to hold a captive dragon. Hence its name, Dragon's Reach. It is simply energy to be harnessed by those with the will and knowledge to do so. You know, if you've got the aptitude, you should join the Mages College in Winterhold. I believe I am, yes. Technically speaking, of course. The city is also home to a priest, priestess, an alchemist, and I'm sure others who practice. Ah, that reminds me. Speaking of alchemists, I have some frost salts for Arcadia. She asked me to obtain them for one of her potions. would you be so kind as to deliver the frost salts for me? I'm sure Arcadia will provide some form of recompense. Good. You're clearly better suited than I am to carry out such a menial task. If I said that was a tedious question, would you be smart enough to know what I meant? Probably not. As long as I'm left alone to pursue my research, I don't care who gives the orders. Now, I'm a busy man, and your pointless questions are boring me terribly. Good day.
This is a priority now. Anything we can use to fight this dragon, or dragons, we need it quickly, before it's too late.
Of course, Jarl Balgroof. You seem to have found me an able assistant. I'm sure he will prove most useful.
Succeed at this, and you'll be rewarded. Whiterun will be in your debt.
Ugh, you smell horrible. Get yourself cleaned up.
I serve Jarl Balgroof as steward.
May the gods watch over your battles, friend. No doubt, he thought it was the only way to make his point. And also, because he knew he could. With good planning and constant vigilance, even now my court wizard, Farengar, continues his research into ways we might drive back these terrors. We must also have ample reserves of water to combat the fires that will surely spread after an attack. But our greatest weapon? Courage. For if we cannot kill the beast, we must at least have the tenacity to drive it back. Until brave heroes step forward to destroy these monsters, that is the best we can do. The Battleborns have been here since the beginning, along with the Greymanes. The feud between the Greymanes and the Battleborns has become dangerous of late. I've spent many hours in council meetings lately grappling with that problem. Farewell, Hinsman.
Yes.
Balgroof, my Jarl. A word.
Speak.
We really must discuss the security here in Dragon's Reach. Perhaps we could limit patrols in the city and retain more guards here.
All right, yes, I see your point. Make the necessary arrangements.
What can I do for you?
You reek! A little friendly advice. Take a bath and get some new clothes.
Yuck, something smells.